Hey guys, Buckskin Dave here. I'm still waiting for my chamber reamer, but what I'm working on now is this extractor, and it's a cast part. And a couple of things I need to do. The first thing I needed to do was the hole that it balances on was a little tight, but now it's, and what it was this thing. It's going to be hard to show this because I don't know that I can get close enough. One of the things, a couple of things I got to do. The first thing I'm doing here is this line right here. That's the mold line. And there was some little bubbles and stuff, so I've been taking them off. This right here that's sticking out the side, that's the pour hole. And so this has to be cut off, and that has to be flushed up with this. And then this little notch right here, and it should be coming in focus for you. This little notch right here needs to be made a little bit bigger to match the one that came out of there. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. I just got done doing this hole, and you got to be really careful just to make it fit. Okay, don't make it bigger than just to make it fit. So it only took a couple of little knocking the bumps off in there to make this fit and work freely. So, you know what I'm working on now is this fill hole here. I'm going to cut this little stub off. I'm going to cut it off with a saw, because you know, you think, well, you could just grind it off, and you can if you're really careful, but it's going to heat this up, and I don't want to change the temper of this. I like it right where it's at, so I'm not going to change the temper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut it off with a saw, and then use a file to bring it down flat. So, there. So now that's off. Now I just have to file it down. So let's get this in here so that it'll stay. There we go. See, now this didn't even get hot, even a little bit. So now I'll file that down flush. So really about the only thing I'm going to be able to do until I cut that barrel is get the thickness right. It's a little fat to fit in the groove on that receiver, so I'm going to take the thickness down. And that's probably as far as I'm going to be able to go, other than this notch, because I really can't put it up flush against the receiver, because I got to cut the groove in the barrel for this to fit in, and I can't cut the groove for the barrel for this to fit in until I chamber it. So pretty much the only thing else I'm going to be able to do right here is smooth it out and get it the right thickness, and then we'll put it aside. But don't go away, okay? Finish your cup of coffee and or get another one, and we're going to work on something else. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to work on today, boy, and the weather is really kind of dreary, but we can do it. I'm going to work on some smokeless loads for the 4590 that I have, and I'm going to use it in that Sharps rifle. And I can get rid of some of this stuff because I have a record book of stuff that I've tried and not tried. I'm going to work with a 420 grain 45, it's 458 caliber bullet. This one has a gas check. With smokeless powders, I really like a gas check bullet. But anyway, so we're going to work with that bullet. And some of my records show me right now 47. So bad. The book recommends 47.59. I don't know if I have any of that, but I'm going to work with this 57.44, and I'm going to go check and see if I got some 47.59. So I do have some 47.59. SR 47.59. Be really careful when you're picking out powders, because they also make one that's 47.56. So be real careful. I've never tried this. Let's give this one a try. And I recommend you look up all your loads. But I'm going to tell you, with the Lyman 50th edition handbook says for a 400 grain bullet, you can use 31 grains to 35 grains of this. Okay? 35 being the high end. I'm going to try one with 31 grains, and this is out of that book. So let's try the low end of this, 31 grains, in one of these, and see if it's going to blow the gun up, or it'll probably shoot fine, safety-wise, but let's see how it does on a target. So I got a crony out here just for yucks. See where we go. Pretty miserable out here. So I changed my mind, and I went to, the book said 31 is the low end, and I went to 30. The pressures are on the low end of 20,000, you know, 20,000, 21,000, which are okay in a modern Sharps rifle. They're kind of the end of the line for pressure in a modern Sharps. But anyway, let's see what happens with this one. I'm not sure I'm going to like the velocity. It says the velocity is kind of fast, and I'm not looking to make them go faster. I'm just looking for an alternate. So this might not be a good powder for us. Oh. Well, let us see. Yeah, it didn't feel very bad, but Crony says 15.22, quite a bit faster than I really wanted it. It hit low right, but I was kind of trying to make it work through where the Crony was sitting. I couldn't get a center hold. Let's try another one. The boot, you know, the recoil and all that didn't feel too heavy. The brass comes out easy. The primer isn't swelled. It isn't showing any excessive pressure signs. And I believe that you could use this in an 1885. This load is what the book said you could use it in, or 1886. And I believe this modern Sharps action is probably okay to use this. So let's try another one at 30 grains. Okay, so I reduced these to 30 instead of 31. In the book, 31 showed 21,700 pressure. So reducing it is going to reduce the pressure just a touch. But it's still running 15.22. Let's try a couple of more and see what it feels like. I don't see any pressure problems at all with that load, but it's going a lot faster than I really think is necessary. But if it's accurate, we can live with that. Okay. 15, not bad. We're only talking, that's 15.16. So we're talking, what? To 6 feet per second variance. Try the same aim and point and see where we get here. It's not throwing the gun up in the air or anything, so Might be okay. Not bad. 15. We're in the same velocity range. I don't. Okay. One last shot at 100 yards. I have one bullet left. I'm going to try 100. It was, let's see, at 25 yards with this sight the way it is, it was about an inch low at 25 yards. So I'm just going to aim right on, just a little bit high, you know, and see where it goes. But it's kind of going to be a Hail Mary. So. All right. So again, no pressure. It didn't really feel like it hit me very hard. And I aimed a little high on the metal and it looks like it hit. He's almost center. So it's not a bad load. Let's finish this up in the shop because it's really getting cold out here. Anyway, that's kind of how I work up a load. I really am very careful about, you'll notice that I don't usually give out loads. That's up to you to make your load. The load that we just did, I'm not really sure I like it because it's pushing that 420 quite a bit faster than I kind of wanted it to, but it is accurate. It's pretty accurate. I'm sure I can shoot it a little bit better the more I shoot it and work on it, but I mean, it hit that thing in the center at 100 yards. It was only a little off, and it wasn't on a bullseye target. It was on something where I had to estimate the center mark. It was an inch group. So it's not a bad load. What it is for me, and I'm going to put it in my book. Okay, and I've got it in here. What it will be for me will be an alternate load that I can use if I can't get something else, and I have a couple of pounds of it. And I don't remember what I used it for, but apparently it didn't work because I still have a couple of pounds of it. The reason why it's very difficult for me to give out these information is because this is a new metal, new model, Pedersoli, made for modern smokeless powder, okay? I don't know that I put this through one of my old Sharpses. You know, it's about 20,000 according to the book, pressure. But when you're loading stuff, keep an eye on your pressure and keep an eye on what the book recommends, the type of gun to put it in. They've never mentioned the Sharps, but generally the Sharps and the 1886s I've found, as long as you stay on the low end of the pressure, I've never had a problem. Doesn't mean you won't. It means that I haven't. And it's really cold out there right now. You know, on a nice hot sunny day, when it's like maybe 80 or 90 degrees, pressure might go up a little bit. Never know. So be very, very careful when you're working up a load. That's kind of how I do it. I find something that looks safe. I use it in a modern gun. I'm not sure I'd shoot that out of the Gemmer. Okay? Even though the Gemmer is made with modern steel and it has a modern barrel on it, and all that, it's still 110 years old, or even more than that. You know, it's probably 115, 16 years old. Don't know that I'd use that load on that in that Gemmer, okay? But for a modern gun like this, yeah, I think, you know, 19, 20,000 is probably okay. So, wouldn't know if I'd go much more than 20 or 21,000 for a Sharps in pressure. But anyway, be very careful, start very low. Be careful not to put too little a powder in there. And like I say, this powder here, for me, is just going to be an alternate powder. It's probably not one I'll use. But I will have in my notes what I did and how it worked and where it was. So if I ever have to use it, I'll have a starting point. Anyway, that's all I got for you now. Hopefully the next time we talk, I'll have a chamber reamer and we'll be reaming a chamber. I'm Buckskin Dave. You guys have a great day. I'll see you next time. Please stay safe. and stay away from the coronavirus if you can. Bye.